In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 unfairly banned supplements that are actually great for your kidneys. Don't miss my number 1 pick, especially because it might cut your creatinine levels in half. I'm still shocked to see that most doctors, even in 2025, don't realize that not all chronic kidney disease, CKD, patients have to end up on dialysis. It's like they missed the memo, or maybe it got lost in their spam folder. I don't know, but they all seem to know very well that the supplements you're taking are bad for you. It's like they're saying, we don't know how to fix your kidneys, but we do know how to ruin your day. Even though there's evidence showing that CKD doesn't necessarily have to end in dialysis, are these old school doctors right about supplements? Or are some supplements being banned for outdated reasons, keeping you from safe and effective ways to improve your kidney function? Guys, there are actually 5 supplements backed by major scientific studies that are beneficial for kidney patients, but they're still banned. Are you ready to find out what they are? Let's start with number 5, Barberry. Barberry is a shrub with small red berries that has been used for centuries for its medicinal properties. If the name reminds you of berberine, that's because barberry is one of its main sources. Now, you might ask, who banned this supplement and why? First, states like Maine, Minnesota, New Hampshire, New York, and Pennsylvania are worried that the plant could become invasive and disrupt their native ecosystems with its dense, thorny shrubs. Nobody wants that, of course. But what if someone with kidney disease gets barberry from another state? Would that be safe? Well, no, at least not according to the National Kidney Foundation, NKF. The truth is, barberry is at the top of the list of herbs CKD patients are advised to avoid. Like most doctors, they don't really provide any explanation for why this herb is considered dangerous, they just say no. So what should we do? There's a reason I've recommended berberine extract, which can come from barberry, in many of my videos, because it works. According to one of the most authoritative sources on berberine, a meta-analysis published in the Journal of Endocrinology in 2019, conducted on 2,313 patients with type 2 diabetes, berberine is highly effective. Diabetic patients experienced an average reduction in fasting blood glucose, referred to as FPG in this study, of 0.54 mol per liter. That's a truly significant number. Other sources confirm that this supplement is as effective as metformin but with fewer side effects. Not to mention, berberine may also improve your kidney health. Yes, berberine doesn't just lower blood sugar, it helps bring it down gently on a very steep slope. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to like this video and maybe share it with a friend so more people can see it. And if you think the NKF banning barberry was surprising, get ready for an even more shocking ban. Number 4, the FDA's proposed ban on curcumin. The FDA actually proposed a ban on curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, a staple in Indian cuisine. They're trying to ban it, despite the fact that curcumin is actually one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatories out there. Believe me, CKD patients really need natural anti-inflammatories. You might already know that NSAIDs are bad for your kidneys, but what do you do if you're in pain? Tylenol? Well, Tylenol, also known as acetaminophen, is also linked to kidney damage, just like NSAIDs. Curcumin is not only highly effective in reducing pain in cases like arthritis and other inflammatory conditions, it also has kidney protective properties. So here's a completely natural way to relieve pain, similar to NSAIDs, but instead of damaging your kidneys, it protects them. And of course, they're trying to ban it. I mean, curcumin is the superhero of spices, and every good story needs a villain. To make things even more ridiculous, even the NKF bans CKD patients from using turmeric because it contains potassium. They're still following that old rule of being extremely fearful about dietary potassium, even though that rule was abandoned years ago. And it's still on their website in 2024. Now, here's the fun part. Do you know how much potassium you get from 1 teaspoon of turmeric? A whopping 56 milligrams. Keep in mind that even when potassium is restricted, CKD patients are still recommended to consume 3,000 milligrams or more per day. So 56 milligrams is an amount of potassium that makes absolutely no difference to anyone. Why do these people feel the need to make such ridiculously confusing recommendations for CKD patients? Number 3. A question. How many of you have asked your doctor about certain vitamins and received a firm rejection in response? Let me know in the comments, because people with medical degrees should understand that kidney patients are very prone to vitamin deficiencies. Vitamin D and B vitamins, in particular, are essential for people with CKD. They are not banned, let's be clear about that, but there is one specific vitamin that is still banned to this day and could potentially bring great benefits to some CKD patients: vitamin E. Vitamin E is actually one of the most powerful antioxidants that exist. Thanks to this property, it has been used to achieve significant improvements in GFR and creatinine levels in some CKD patients. This vitamin works especially well in patients with diabetes and early-stage CKD. So I would consider supplementing a natural form of vitamin E, such as tocotrienol, for patients in stage 3A or 3B at most, who also have diabetes. Or even better, get this vitamin in its most natural form, from food. Sunflower seeds might be the best food you can find when it comes to vitamin E. Just 1 ounce of these seeds contains up to 66% of your daily value for vitamin E, which is amazing because now you're getting this vitamin without violating any directives from your doctor. I wonder what the NKF, National Kidney Foundation, would say about eating a little sunflower seed daily for better kidney function. They ban it because it has phosphorus. But doesn't the NKF know we don't actually absorb phosphorus well from plant-based foods? I'm curious who's funding them at this point. Let's take a look at this list for a minute. This will be helpful. As we can see, they are banning CKD patients from a long list of entirely safe supplements, and even foods with healing properties, just because they contain phosphorus. But how much phosphorus can you really get from a little cilantro? 1 milligram. And what about ginseng? 99% of people only use it in extract form. You'd get more phosphorus from licking a postage stamp. Who made this list? Some might say it's time to redefine the American Kidney Foundation, but what I'm saying is, let's take another look at their banned supplement list, because I'm starting to think we might actually find some of the healthiest kidney supplements in there. In fact, our number 2 also comes from their banned supplement list, and that's bitter melon. Number 2. Bitter melon is also banned due to its phosphorus content, which is just ridiculous. Bitter melon is one of the healthiest superfoods out there, and I'm actually glad they're trying to ban it. It gives me a reason to talk about it. From a botanical perspective, bitter melon belongs to the gourd family, which also includes cucumbers, watermelon, pumpkin, and squash. But from a kidney perspective, this vegetable is considered a supplement food that contains too much phosphorus for your kidneys. Including it in the list of banned supplement foods is honestly shocking to me. And not just because bitter melon is a whole food and not a supplement, but also because it only contains 45 milligrams of phosphorus per cup, which is a very small amount, almost negligible, since it comes from a plant source. Why aren't they warning you about processed foods, dairy, meat, and fish instead. Those are the phosphorus sources that are pushing CKD, chronic kidney disease, patients into dialysis, not bitter melon. This is a very misleading list, and once again, it comes from the National Kidney Foundation, so doctors will follow these guidelines. But now you might ask, why is bitter melon so interesting that we'd consider ignoring a ban from the NKF? Well, bitter melon has twice the beta-carotene of broccoli, twice the calcium of spinach, and it's also rich in fiber, vitamin C, and vitamins B1, B2, and B3. But the reason this vegetable totally deserves 1 or 2 trips to your nearest Asian market is something else. It's a natural treatment for diabetes. This vegetable blurs the line between ordinary food and actual natural medicine. In one study, diabetic patients who ate bitter melon daily not only saw significant weight loss and lower HbA1c levels, but also protected their kidney function. In fact, their creatinine levels didn't increase at all during the study, while the creatinine levels of diabetic patients who didn't consume bitter melon went up. Eating this vegetable before meals can make a huge difference in both diabetes and kidney disease. And once again, it proves that you need to be informed, not just blindly trust the authorities who are banning all sorts of foods and supplements. But now you might ask, why are they banning all these supplements anyway? Do they just enjoy banning things for CKD patients, or is there some method to their madness? I wish we could ask them. Hello, National Kidney Foundation, can I use herbal supplements if I have kidney disease? You should not use herbal supplements if you have kidney disease for the simple reason that herbal supplements are not regulated by the FDA. Stop using supplements, just take prescription medications, they say, because maybe someone once made a mistake with a natural remedy and that might cause trouble for you, right? Because it's totally impossible for someone to make a mistake with FDA-regulated medications. Medical errors are actually the 3rd leading cause of death in the US. So yeah, maybe stop prescribing and misprescribing incredibly dangerous drugs, and then we can talk about which supplements are safe and which aren't. Now, to be fair, the woman from the NKF did make a good point about supplements. Herbal supplements are not regulated by the FDA. There have been cases where the contents of one capsule in a bottle were very different from the next. She said that we shouldn't underestimate the risks of supplement safety. That said, there are also reputable brands that have been around for years because their customers trust them, and because their supplements are safe. So how can you make sure the supplements you're taking actually contain what the label says? There are a few rules you can follow to completely avoid the risk of dangerous supplements. First, choose reputable brands. Look for supplements from companies that have been third-party tested for quality, safety, and purity. Look for certifications from organizations like USP, NSF, or Consumer Lab. Also, do your research on supplements before taking anything. Look for information from reliable sources, such as scientific journals and reputable health websites, to understand the benefits, risks, and most importantly, interactions of supplements. Google is your friend. Many supplement brands include a variety of ingredients because they believe it could give them an edge in results or sales. Be especially cautious with proprietary blends, and look up each ingredient to ensure safety. Also, very importantly, monitor your reactions. Keep track of any changes in lab values and your overall health after starting a supplement. Note that I said this supplement. Never start multiple things at once. This way, if you experience any side effects, you'll know exactly what caused them. Alright folks, it's time to talk about our number one. They say only what's FDA approved is safe, but what if the FDA's main goal isn't to protect consumer health, but to protect the profits of pharmaceutical companies. Could they start banning safe and effective supplements just because some company patented a natural compound back in the 60s and now wants all the profits? Sounds like a crazy conspiracy theory, right? But what if I told you this actually happened? It happened with one of the most powerful antioxidants nature ever created. This compound was actually used in a study to cut creatinine levels in half. And yes, the FDA banned this natural remedy in 2020. That year, they began sending cease and desist letters to companies selling it, not because of safety concerns. No, they were only concerned that a big pharmaceutical company had patented this natural compound as a drug in 1963, so supplement companies weren't allowed to sell it, even if it was effective, even if it was safe. Sounds like a fictional story, doesn't it? But luckily for us, people got fed up with this kind of government bullying and started filing petitions. That's why, in 2022, the FDA finally backed down, and now you're allowed to buy this life-saving supplement without having to sell a kidney. Yes, I'm talking about N-acetylcysteine, NAC. Of course, NAC is one of the most powerful antioxidants on Earth with amazing kidney protective benefits. It's so powerful it can be prescribed to CKD patients undergoing contrast imaging tests because it can protect against the massive oxidative damage those tests can cause. NAC can also be effectively used long-term to prevent daily oxidative damage to the kidneys. This supplement is so good that it was used to reduce creatinine by 50% in a study. That's it for today. Thank you for watching, and God bless you all. Goodbye.